What were you doing the first weekend in April? Well, there's a really good chance that you probably were not running 145 miles, but that's exactly what Harvey Lewis did. 145 miles for this ultramarathoner is kind of a warm up, but Harvey is rested up from his weekend of running and is with us. Harvey, how did it feel to run 145 miles in a weekend? As I say, that's not necessarily unusual for some of the distances that you do.
Well, it was shocking, like something I wasn't planning on doing, but a Canadian got in touch with me, and he got this crazy idea of putting people together all over the world and having everyone run from their backyards. And so it was really, really interesting because we used all this technology from Strava to track our miles, to Zoom, so we could show well, actually not all the runners, but we had 25 runners per screen, and the Zoom app allows up to 1,000 people on for 24 hours at a time. So they had to actually have 4 different Zooms going because they had 2,413 runners from 65 countries. And there was the guy from Australia that ran inside of a coffee shop, and he did loops around this 25-foot loop area. It was so small. There were numerous stories like that. There was a lady Anna from Sweden who ran on the icy tundra, and people running on treadmills, all different sorts. And everyone had to run a 4.167 distance every 60 minutes and be back to your Zoom feed, but then go back out and do it again. So if you finish the loop fast, you get maybe 10 or 15 minutes to like rest. You can eat food, lay down. But the challenge is that the last person standing. So after so many of these, you just get so tired and you're allowed to be a little slower. Yeah, it was definitely something unique, especially I never imagined doing it from the backyard. So fortunately in Ohio, you had to obey the restrictions depending on whatever jurisdiction you lived in. And so, of course, where we are in Ohio, there are limits, but we can still at this point run out and run around just as long as we're keeping a 6-foot distance from people. And I usually kept like 10 feet from people. And the only rules and the other rules were you were allowed to have your own household run with you. So Carly here was actually my number one running partner in the race.
Carly has become a star here.
Page in the newspaper.
I know.
He loves it.
So you basically did like a 4-mile lap around Circleville, Ohio. There's a little bit of irony there. You were 15th in this group of more than 2,000, which is an amazing accomplishment. Now, how many miles, you basically ran until you couldn't run anymore. How many miles did the winner run that weekend? It was the Quarantine Backyard Ultra, by the way, is the formal name of it. How many miles did the winner run?
Michael Wardian of Arlington, Virginia, actually ran over 262 miles. And yeah, it's pretty amazing. Quite amazing.
And for for his trouble, what did he win?
He won, really at this point, it's pretty high demand. He got the golden toilet paper.
That's well,
might be able to sell that for something.
I was going to say that's very popular these days. So, as I mentioned, this is kind of a warm up for you to run those distances, and you have so many ultras and longer distance races that are on the schedule. Has all of this changed your schedule so far? Because I know you really start picking up your running events once school is out, once you're done teaching. So has your schedule for the summer changed any so far?
Yeah, basically, well, I typically run like 1 or 2 races a month, and everything has been canceled up until June at this point. And we had a couple races planned with the company I started and take people on holidays to Portugal with RunQuest. And right now I'm talking to our friends and guides in Portugal, and it's looking like less than 50% chance that we'll be able to do those and go there. So we're just waiting until about May 1st to make a decision about that. But the next possible race that we have, of course, we're going to do the pig with the virtual race. And then the next race beyond that would be the Badwater. And Badwater in July, it hasn't been canceled yet. It's 95 runners in Death Valley National Park, but we have our eyes on it, so we really don't know what's going to happen. I will say that I never dreamed of doing any type of virtual race. Like I've done a 5K. There's a school out in the Midwest that organizes a 5K virtual race every year with a group of special ed students, and I participate in that. And that's always been very nice, but I've never done any other. And so this last weekend, it did give me appreciation. I really did like that element of like being able to at least interact with people and do something physical. That was nice. Even given our situation where we can't be physically together, getting together with the technology was really nice. And I'm glad we did it. So it actually gives me some perspective going into like the Flying Pig and other events we have planned.
Right. The New York Times a few weeks ago had a big article basically saying that running is almost the perfect sport for those of us in these times because it can be singular. You can run with someone with distance. You have an opportunity to get out in the fresh air. Do you see maybe what we're going through now? Do you think that this could really start another boom in running for our country?
You know, I really hope so. I mean, I talked to my friend Carlos Saw in Portugal, and see, after 2008, when they had the financial collapse, it actually sprung a giant movement of running in Portugal because people couldn't afford the gyms, and so they went out into nature and they started running. And I've seen that in Ohio. In Ohio, I've seen probably twice the number of people out walking and running or taking their dogs on walks. I think the dogs have gotten more walks and more runs and more miles than they've ever had in their whole life. And so, yeah, there's some really rough and dark things that people are experiencing now. But I really think that you have to look at, what you're going to, like, how you're going to come out of it stronger. And I'm really hoping that there's some things to this that will take away. And one of those will be the getting out into doing more exercise, spend more time with the family, maybe slowing down a little bit.
You know, slowing down isn't necessarily a bad thing for any of us, but you were talking about family. Like Harvey, Like Son, the movie about you and your father along the Appalachian Trail a couple of summers ago. This was supposed to be the spring debut of the movie in movie houses. As we know, a lot of the theaters are closed for now. Will we still be able to see Like Harvey, Like Son?
Yes, you will. It's on hold. In fact, I have to call the airline today and rearrange. I was actually supposed to be flying out tomorrow, and then we were going to have our opening in LA on the 13th and 14th. And but we canceled this about 3 weeks ago. So and there was going to be opening up in theaters April 17th. So yeah, everything is pushed back. We haven't been given a date yet, but I'm imagining like maybe 3 months from now or something on that order, sometime this summer.
Good, yeah. Good. We can't wait to see it.
It also, being in this moment now, it makes me appreciate some of those things, like being on the Appalachian Trail with my father in close proximity. Like that seems like a lifetime ago at the moment, but it really, that's another thing is when you're in the midst of one of these, like what we're experiencing now, when we get to the other end of it, we're definitely going to appreciate some of those things in life we may have taken for granted.
Absolutely. I think if there's anything that comes out of this, I think that so many of the things, day-to-day things that we took for granted, I think that we will certainly appreciate them more. You are very open and vocal about your vegetarian diet, and you have been doing this for many, many years. When you finish like Badwater, or when you do 145 miles in your backyard, What do you sit down and eat? What's your favorite vegetarian dish that you have to refuel and replenish and really enjoy?
Honestly, it's whatever is nearest to me. But it's true. This weekend when I finished, I was really tired. It was tough. I don't know. It would seem tougher than normal. Maybe doing it alone. I don't know. But the first thing I did is I actually jumped into a hot bath with Epsom salts.
Yeah.
And then I was just so sleepy because I hadn't slept in over 40 some hours, whatever, 2 days. So I went straight to bed, and I woke up after about 2 hours, and I raided the refrigerator, and I ate just like a bunch of like ridiculous things that you wouldn't really want to like eat together. But I had like this vegan pizza, I had pickles, and I can't even tell you everything else that was there. I do remember the vegan pizza and the pickles, but I just was eating whatever was available, because when you go through all that energy, you really you just need to get calories into your body and actually fat and different things. Protein is not so important. I do eat more protein in the week after, but it's not as important. Initially, you just need to get food in your body.
Right. Well, after 145 miles, I think you can eat whatever you want. You deserve it. Harvey, of course, Flying Pig streaker, ultra marathoner, Flying Pig pacer as well. So, Harvey, I know that we won't see you in person the first weekend in May this year, but I know that you will be with all the other Flying Pigs in spirit that weekend. And of course, we plan on seeing you in the fall for the rescheduled Flying Pig.
Absolutely. I'm really excited for it. We're going to be still having the pacing groups in October, and honestly, my favorite medals in all the world, my favorite medal hands down is the Flying Pig Marathon medal. So this is actually Kelly's medal, my fiance, but these are the best. Like the other medals, I could probably give them away. But I love the Flying Pig Marathon medals. Like, they are definitely a treasure. So I'm looking forward to getting this year's. And whether you're running it as a virtual race or you're going to do it in October, they're definitely going to be collector's items. I mean, you think about the rarest coins, and they're the ones that have something unique to them. Also, I got all of our pig stuff here. I should probably show you real fast.
Oh, yeah.
So we got this, you see the silver guy here. He goes out in the garden. All of these are actually go out in the garden. But, we love our pigs for the front of the house, the back of the house. And I know many of us that run the Flying Pig, I mean, they have way better decorating skills than I do.
Yeah, I think we all collect pigs, and you know what? It's easy for our friends to, when they're buying us something for the holidays or for birthday, they get a pig and give it to you, and it's easy for them, and we're happy too.
That is awesome. Well, I'm definitely going to be running the virtual race, Flying Pig weekend. I've run it every year since the inception. I can't imagine not running it. I haven't decided. I probably will not actually run the course. Of course, I'll run like somewhere the 26.2, just because I don't think we want to have like 20,000 people running the same course unless I come up with a different time or something like that. But we'll all be posting about that weekend. Flying Pig will be posting like people's pictures, sharing stories, and we will share in it. And it's still going to be special for people. And so I'm looking forward to hearing people's stories.
Absolutely. So are we. Harvey, take care. Thank you so much. Stay safe, and we will see you at least virtually the first weekend in May, and then see you later on this summer. Good luck, and thanks again.
Well, thank you so much. And Carly's looking forward to coming and doing the Flying Pig Fur at some point.
Good. Listen, Carly has become a star as much as you post about your running. Carly is now the star in the family. We'll make sure that when they finish the Flying Fur, Carly will have a separate Flying Fur medal, so you can't beat that.
Wow. Wow. Well, I love it.
All right. Take care, Harvey.